Well, I'm not opposed to the Yankees losing, to answer that part of it, but I think what you're referring to, and just to put it in a historical perspective, Commissioner Kuhn back in the 70s, when Charlie Finley was clearly selling his team, Charlie had the bright idea, and it was actually a pretty good idea, that, look, I can sell my franchise for whatever, but first I'm going to start selling the players individually, and the commissioner blocked it because he thought that was not in the best interest of baseball. If you're going to sell your team, you sell the team. And since that time, there are certain restraints in selling players that the commissioner has to approve. In terms of what should be done, you know, look, I don't like what the Yankees did any more than you do. Obviously, we're going to have to, on opening day, they're rolling in here. We're likely to get, yes, Sabathia and Burnett. You know, we're going to get the full brunt of it. Teixeira, we'll get them right there. But here's the deal. The Yankees, they share a considerable amount of their revenue. I mean, it's a lot. They paid tax on their payroll. They're working within the structure we've set up. You know, they're not doing anything that's illegal. They're operating the way they choose to operate. In my regard, they're going to probably regret in a few years some of the things they did. But we have to live with them in the short term. And until they step outside of what our structure is, you know, or until we change the structure, we got nothing to complain about. Well, I very much would like to get us closer together. I don't think we need to be contiguous the way some are, where everything's in one spot. When I was in Chicago, we had what I thought was an ideal spot. The minor leagues were just a mile away. But when you consider the kind of crowds coming to our major league spring training games, it really let the minor leagues sort of act independently without all that falderall, and we could easily see them. But we absolutely have to get a situation different from the one we have now. I have made that, you know, my preference on that known, which is no surprise. But I do get the sense that we are pretty close to resolving that issue. And I don't care whether, frankly, it's Vero or Fort Myers or Sarasota. I just want to get the group where we're not 3 hours apart. So I believe that we have reason for optimism on that, I hope. Major League Baseball is keenly aware of that, and I think it goes beyond sports because you're right, we compete with more sports. Those sports have expanded. The colleges are cutting back on their baseball programs because of Title IX. So baseball's keenly aware of it. One of the things they are or have initiated in the not too distant past is the RBI program, which is reviving baseball in the inner cities, where they've actually built complexes and are encouraging kids from inner cities to come and play the game. I know teams take the initiative in a lot of different ways. I know the Orioles have different amateur programs out there. I know Dean Albany coaches the Oriolanders and tries to get involved. I know in Colorado at one point, anytime a player signed a multi-year contract, they donated part of their money back and they built a field somewhere in Colorado for kids to use. You know, baseball has increased their revenue from like 2-point-something billion last year to over 6. You know, the business side of what goes on in New York is very keenly aware of what you say, and they know they need to have that foundation of kids playing. But it goes beyond sports. Like I said, it's, you know, the kids they've got video games, they've got computers, they have access to things that can keep them inside that when you and I grew up, we didn't have that stuff, you know. Your mother opened the back door, see you at dinner, and off you went, you know. So it's a different world. And believe me, we have to stay on top of it and understand it and deal with it.